Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton News Daily. It is June 28th, 2016. Not much to talk about. It's quiet. Again, couple of stories to talk about in terms of transfers. And obviously, let's talk about England for a minute as well. Let's just start with that England stuff. England obviously gone out the tournament. That's John Stones and Ross Barkley now leaving the tournament without kicking a ball, which is absolutely amazing considering, these two players and how these two players are talked about and how these two players are held in some circles. I am absolutely just amazed by the fact that, listen, I'm not someone who, I didn't exactly think Ross Barkley was going to make the England squad, but the fact that when you've seen every other player in his position play during the Euro so poorly, I am absolutely amazed that the clown that was in charge had decided against using him. It absolutely just amazes me. When you see someone like Jack Wilshere come onto the pitch at half time to try and change a game, it bewilders me. It bewilders me. And when people on TV and radio stations, try and work out why it's wrong, that's the first reason. It's players like Jack Wilshere who are just absolutely nothing players. Jack Wilshere's a very good footballer on his day, but on his day he's a good footballer. But when does that day ever come? He hardly ever plays. He's a player who is throwing away all his talent. I know people say it's he can't be helped getting injured all the time, but this is a lad who doesn't help himself, with his off-field activities. Whether he still does that, I don't know, but it's sad. And the fact is, Ross Barkley, for 3/4 of the season, had a fantastic season. He still had the highest stats of any English midfielder for goals and assists. And the fact that he didn't get 1 minute to prove what he's all about is absolutely just a disgrace. And I'm glad he didn't in the end, because he won't be tarnished with that brush whatsoever that the other players be tarnished with. I really can't believe that they tried players like Jordan Henderson. They tried players like Sturridge out of position. Sturridge is a good player, but when he plays out of position. When they try Wilshere, in what other sport would a sportsman be brought into the fold when he's played 3 minutes or something like that of Premier League football all season? I think at the moment we've got like the best cycling team in the world, and this Tour de France team, and the guy who leads it, he won't include anyone in the team who hasn't participated. For that'll be my phone on Facebook taking a wild dive there because of all the they wouldn't be included. They don't get included. It's madness, and that's the state of play we have at the moment in English football. That players who don't play, players who are injured, get put ahead of players who have played all season, who are good footballers. So that just shows you what's wrong with English football. John Stones, you look at John Stones, and whether you think he should have started the tournament or not, you would have thought at some point he would have got some minutes, whether it had been against Slovakia or what, I don't know. But listen, it's gone now. They're out, and I think John Stones, whether he's an Everton player or not when the season starts, I'm sure Ross Barkley will be. Their reputations will be enhanced by not being part of that tournament. People now are already saying Ross Barkley needs to be give a chance. John Stones, because like Gary Cahill, utter abysmal players. Anyway, we've talked about England enough. That's my little rant. I wanted to get that out somewhere, and I've just got that out here. So talking about players, We mentioned yesterday, because someone actually left a comment and I mentioned that from comment from Facebook, that we're being linked with Maarten Stellum. No, what, I had this pronunciation down before. I had it right down. Maarten Stekelenburg, the Fulham goalkeeper, who's not actually played any games whatsoever for Fulham, hasn't played any football for them competitively. He has been linked with Everton very, very strongly. Last season, he played 17 games for Southampton in the Premier League, and obviously when Forrester came back, he was out the team. He's played 54 times for the national team, Holland national team. He's a good goalkeeper. But what I want to stress about this goalkeeper is that if he is signed, he is not being signed as the number one goalkeeper. He is being brought in to bolster the goalkeeping ranks of Everton Football Club. I think that has to be stressed. He is not being signed as the number one. I think Ronald Koeman wants to get players in, and he wants to get them done, soon. And I think this is a player he can bring in for cut price. Someone he knows, someone he's worked with before, and he wants to bring in. But I don't think by any means he's a number one goalkeeper straight off the bat. So let's not worry too much about that. I don't know what that means for Joe Robles. That could mean the end for Joe Robles. Possibly so. But that's the manager. That's up to the manager. The manager's also said today that any talk of new deals for Leon Osman and Tony Hibbert are nothing. Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. We are on Facebook Live, like we always do, a video. Someone has just asked there about, what do you think about going after Robbie Brady from Norwich? Could play left back and left midfield and had a great Euros. I think he's a great player, Dave. That was David Cunningham. I think Brady's a really good player and would really add to the squad as a squad player. I think he will leave Norwich and someone will take a chance on him, and I think he'll end up being a decent signing for them. So fair play. I'd have a little go. I'd have a little go for Brady, no problem at all. Yes, so as we mentioned, Maarten Stekelenburg. Heavily linked and possibly could sign this week. We'll wait and see on that one. Another player we've been linked with today, a little bit more exciting, but a little bit more left field, is Polish winger Kamil Grosicki. Rennes right winger, obviously playing in the Euros at the moment. 28-year-old. Can play on the right and the left. Who's been playing on the left, I think, for Poland. Very, very pacey winger. And what we've seen with the Koeman teams is he really, really likes pace. He likes pace in that team. He likes to play on the break, which means obviously you have a lot of pace in your team. You defend properly and then you break on the pace with pace. Something I think we missed a trick on massively last season. We like to play on the break away from home, but we didn't necessarily have a lot of pace to break with. And as we've seen today, look at someone like Mane, who Koeman had at Liverpool, and he's just left for what, £30 million. I think he was a player that Koeman showed what he could do with at Southampton. So it'd be interesting stuff. Apart from that, there's really not much happening at all. We're in that little lull period now where I think they'll be looking at players, trying to get deals done behind the scenes. They're keeping it very, very quiet. They're not letting anything out, which is brilliant. That's the way you want it. It's not great for us, but it leaves speculation wide open. So actually, any name that's linked, you can't really dismiss it. You just get on with it. So we'll wait and see. I think a lot of names will be linked with Everton in the coming weeks, and we'll pick them all off. A lot of people on Facebook saying about no director of football yet. Well, again, that's another thing, that those things don't just happen overnight. You have to work on them and speak to people, and the manager has to get his feet under the table. And I think a lot of people have got to just be patient. We've seen what happened with the manager. We've seen that. And all the names that are being linked, don't worry about them either. Everton are keeping a lot close to the chest, so I wouldn't worry too much about the names that we've been linked. Yes, of course, some of them there might be names they are looking at and have might put feelers out, but it doesn't mean anything yet. And I'm sure the club have got it in hand and are trying to get deals done. So I wouldn't worry about it too much, and I'm sure in the next couple of weeks it'll all get sorted out. And we'll tell you about it on Toffee TV. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.